What's up, everybody? It's Vicious here, and I'm going to look at Anoobis' tweets again. I think I might upload this to my channel alone, but I might upload it to our podcast channel. But this is my podcast mate, Anoobis, and he has been on a tear. I should have never told this dude to check out Twitter to look up stuff about games because his fanboy is showing. Now, me, I'm a fanboy. I know it. I know I'm a PlayStation fan, and I'm warming up more and more to like PC every day. But Anubis, he owns like every system, not every system since the dawn of existence, but all the contemporary systems. He owns it for I don't know what reason. It's pretty edgy if you ask me, but he's definitely an Xbox fan. He's been an Xbox fan ever since I known him, and even when it doesn't make sense. As you can see, Starfield Explorer, Redfall Mercenary. So he put this on here because he is an Xbox fan. Like, don't let it fool you. Like, anything he says to you is like a lie because he doesn't like Elder Scrolls, but he loves that Elder Scrolls team is working on Starfield, and also he doesn't like any fucking arcane game that I can think of, but he seems to be excited for Redfall. Very weird, if you ask me. But his tweets, and I've been going over this for a long time, like sometimes I'll just look at his stuff and I'm just like grossed out. But we made a video together on it, about how toxic his shit is. Let's take a look see. So he pinned this tweet from August 1st. Oh, that was for the giveaway, I believe. Yeah, it is for the giveaway. I was just looking at the thumb, but let's just look and see what my guy is talking about. I'll never have sex with this, Blade fan. Okay, let's see. He's a big fucking Genshin Impact simp. This nigga spent like what was it? He spent $500 on Genshin Impact within like 8 months, and he's still playing that shit. I'm sorry, I don't get the Genshin Impact craze. Like, it's cool. It's not like there's nothing remarkable about that game. Let's see. All right, so this is interesting. Call of Duty 2024 will reportedly cover the Iraq War. He says, not gonna lie, this alone is enough to get me interested. I want to see just how deep it goes. That's what I imagine he does when he writes "laughing my ass off." Sometimes he writes it in like places that don't fit or make sense. But in this case, it kind of does. But he doesn't really even like Call of Duty. This is what I'm talking about. So he says this alone is enough to get me interested. Like, if Microsoft never acquired Activision, he wouldn't be interested in this shit because he's been telling me for years Call of Duty is boring. I don't even like playing online. Blah 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 blah. Of course, I think that this is just me talking, but I think Call of Duty campaigns are inconsequential. Like, you don't need to play them. Like, we know why people get Call of Duty. It's not for that shit. So yeah, he said the only thing he likes about Call of Duty is zombies. But who knows? This may change his perception. I don't see why. He has this thing where he doesn't play online. Like, I don't know. I don't know why that is. He hates like gameplay with other people, and he hates gameplay in general. I don't know why. Let's see. Here we go. He's biting into the fanboys. Yeah, Halo failed, Forza failed, Gears failed. Now Xbox has no flagship titles. They had no other choice but to buy Activision. Okay. He says what? Rolling on the floor laughing. Let's see. This is like a random person, right? This is like a random nobody. How the mighty have fallen. What is this about? So I'm assuming he follows this guy with an Xbox fucking OG Day One Xbox. Oh, he does follow him. That's interesting. That is so interesting. He follows the OG Day One Xbox live beta tester, started posting on System Wars, formerly known as. Yeah, see, this is the type of shit I'm talking about. I follow like some people and I follow them for information, but this dude follows them because he sucks Microsoft's cock. And, Anubis likes when people suck Microsoft's cock, so he follows it. Yeah, Halo failed, Forza failed, Gears failed, and now Xbox has no flagship titles. This is like a puny comment, and it has 64 likes. And out of all this, I don't want to say Forza failed. I said Forza. It's Forza. Forza didn't fail. I thought Forza did pretty well. Halo is generally, I think people generally like have like a distaste for it because it was released in pieces, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not in the Xbox community. Gears failed. I don't know how Gears does, but I do know Forza did well. So, a rational person would be like, I don't understand. I don't think all that's true. This seems like very reactionary. And what does this dude do? Hardcore gamer, battle rap fan. Okay. But, yeah. Halo, you know what I'm saying? But look at the shit that he said. What? Rolled on the floor laughing? Like, Halo wasn't doing like kind of bad at first. Like, having decent sales doesn't mean that everybody likes it. As a matter of fact, let me see what Halo Infinite got on Metacritic just real quick. All right, I have Halo Infinite pulled up on Metacritic, and I'm about to switch to it now. But before, you've seen a little bit of it. Before I switch to it, or as I switch to it, I just want you to know that 8 is great, or it's at least really good. It's not a 9 or a 10, and that's not shade at it. I'm just saying, like, it's in the good right here. 87 Metascore, generally favorable. So people did like it. People did like it. I did see some chatter on the internet about it, though. So because something has a good or a bad score on Metacritic isn't like the all-defining feature. I was just looking to see if there was like some criticism about the game that would link to my memories of like what I saw on YouTube and Twitter, right? So because something is good, it doesn't necessarily mean that, or at least on Metacritic, good or bad on Metacritic, doesn't mean that, there isn't a chance somebody could review bomb, or like, what is the opposite of review bomb? Like overly review how good the game is. Like, I've seen some people calling this game a complete 10 out of 10, and I know that it released with campaign and multiplayer at separate times. So a lot of these reviews are from 2021 because that's when it released originally, and I know for sure that the full game wasn't out. So what that tells me is a lot of fans came on here and like gave it high ratings. So there's no real way to tell, but generally, as somebody who's like very rational, I'll say that this game, it did pretty well, but obviously what this guy said and what Anoobis is like reacting to is like, I don't know. It's like punching down, like you're laughing at somebody who doesn't have like a real grip on reality. Somebody who's not rational, and somebody who definitely won't listen to what you have to say. That's just how it is. But Anubis just can't seem to like grasp on that, or he just doesn't care. I don't know. It's just a cry for attention for me. Let's see. Not gonna lie, this alone makes me want Violet. This nigga be wanting stuff for like the smallest things. But this looks like a Mega Man Battle Network enemy, which doesn't make me want to buy a fucking game. Suddenly, those high-end PC ponies purchased to play Xbox games have disappeared. What? Why y'all crying about Call of Duty unless... What? High-end PC ponies purchased to play Xbox games have disappeared. What? 345. What the fuck is this guy talking about? I can't even like make sense of this. Look at what Anoobis retweets. Suddenly those high-end PC ponies What? Is he talking about Sony fans or is he talking about PC fans? I don't understand. This is a weird retweet, you know? And, yeah. I don't know what else to say. Like, look at the stuff that he retweets and likes. You know, I'm the fanboy and I can't accept criticism of Sony, but here this dude is liking some idiot who's like attacking Sony or PC. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. I haven't. What? I can't make sense about this. I'm not crying about Call of Duty. I couldn't care any less. You know, there's a large group of people that like Call of Duty. You know, but I don't really care about that group that much. I mean, I play Battlefield, but on the opposite end, it's like, you know, what about you motherfuckers when we got Bloodborne? When we got Bloodborne and you didn't have a FromSoft title to play. But I could go that route and I could go different routes. Like, you know, you can't play. Well, actually, can you play God of War now? I don't think you can because it's not on Game Pass, is it? But yeah, we got like so many things. You motherfuckers couldn't play Spider-Man. You know, like I could go on and on and on about this, but you know, it's just microaggressive stuff like this. It's just like so weird. Like from somebody who's supposed to be, you know, like, oh, I'm biased, but you know, I'm fair. I'm biased, but I'm fair. But I'm gonna choose to ignore that. You know, PlayStation's had like more exclusives since PS4. Well, since PS3, really, since ever actually. I'm gonna ignore that, and we're gonna talk about Call of Duty. Like, what a lame thing to talk about. Here we go. What is this? This shit got a whole ugly laugh out of me. Sony doesn't want to spend. They want to squeeze out the consumers for every penny they have at PlayStation X3. What? Get off your high horse and do better. Let's see this guy. So, 47 followers. Oh, this random ass nigga that was following him. I think he follows Anoobis. So, this is, for the lack of a better word, and, you know, I'm trying to, you know, I'm not going to say the R word, but this got a whole ugly laugh out of me. They're milking us for all we got, you know, but here's the thing, and I talked with Anoobis about this. PlayStation 3 had online free until like PS4 came out, right? So, you know, we're the ones that's getting milked for everything we got because we're like consumers and we're paying for games like every other fucking outlet does. Like, you pay for games on Steam, you pay for games on motherfucking PlayStation, on Nintendo, what is it, that Amazon console. You know, you're paying for games everywhere you go. Microsoft is fortunate enough to have the capital they have that you don't have to pay for games unless you're paying for Game Pass, which, you know, I've recently discovered is only good on PC. Or not PC, on Xbox, because I looked at Game Pass. Anubis gave me a code for Game Pass. Game Pass on PC is ass, bro. Like, I was looking to see if they had Soul Hackers 2, and I ended up getting Dreamlight Valley for my girlfriend. But I seen the stuff that was popping off of it. You know, like Final Fantasy 13 was coming off of it. I'm like, wow, you know, like what a great library. You know, even though PlayStation, with their PlayStation Now bullshit that they got, you can play Final Fantasy 13 Trilogy for free, and the shit has like not went off of PlayStation Now. You know, I will say that. But I don't understand this. This seems like stupid. And who liked this? I'm curious. Who liked this tweet? Was it Corey's half R-worded ass? Let's see. I'll bring it up when it loads. Oh, surprise, surprise. Like, the guy who posted it, he liked the retweet of it. It's got a whole ugly laugh out of me. That shit wasn't even funny. It's weird is what it is. Let's see. Big acquisitions are interesting because we never get public statements like this from Jim Ryan otherwise. While Sony is clearly worried about the potential of Call of Duty hit, he fails to mention their desire to lock down franchises like Final Fantasy. Hmm. Uh. Okay. So I don't like that comparison from Call of Duty to Final Fantasy because I think Call of Duty is the more successful franchise. Let's take a field trip on that. All right, so it doesn't compare. If this is correct, the series has been commercially and critically successful. It is one of the best-selling video game franchises with more than 150 million units sold and more than 13 billion gross. So Call of Duty has sold 425 million copies since the series inception. Call of Duty really got big around Call of Duty 4, like Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare, see, I thought Modern Warfare was the cream of the crop. That and Modern Warfare 2. But evidently, Black Ops in 2010 was the highest selling, I'm assuming because of zombies. Wow, that's crazy. That is super duper crazy. You know, I don't like the comparison there. And I don't think Sony isn't really locking down. Like they're not really. I'm sure they have interest in getting Square Enix, but you know, I don't know if they're really locking anything down necessarily. You can access most Final Fantasy games on Steam. You know, you can access Final Fantasy VII Remake on Steam. But you can't access it on Switch or Xbox. Like, kind of makes me wonder. I don't know what exactly they said to them. I don't know if Valve talked to them and said, "Hey, we want this," but I would like talk with Microsoft about it. They have unlimited money, but you know, I think Call of Duty more so appeals to their fan base. Now, I have that question for whoever's watched this video so far. Do you think that Call of Duty is more sustainable when it's only on Xbox? Because some of the comments that you see involving Call of Duty and PlayStation in terms of like sales and how much money that Microsoft is going to make off of it. And, you know, the conversations about like it still being available for PlayStation for the next couple of years, but you know, eventually it's going to be exclusive. Like that's cool and everything, but I don't see it selling like that much. Like it'll sell a lot on Xbox. Xbox is like the home of first person shooters and dude bros. You know what I mean? So it's gonna sell a bunch, but I don't think it's gonna like hit the same amount of sales as it used to. That's just how things work. You know, if there's 20 million people, 10 million of them have PlayStation, 10 million of them have Xbox. The max you can sell if you only own Xbox is 10 million copies. Well, it's not the max. Like some people buy games twice. Anoobis bought near like 3 fucking times. So, you know, what is this? Sony fans and Jim Ryan are mad because MS hasn't made a comment about their next contract with Activision to include Call of Duty on PS. Is Jim Ryan mad or is Jim Ryan concerned? Like, there's a difference between being mad and concerned, and I don't understand. I don't think Anubis understands like what that is. A contract that is anywhere between from 3 to 8 years from being discussed at all. That will most likely include PS, but remove extra perks Sony has had for years. So it's not all right. So here's the thing. There's a lot to digest here. I don't think I properly understand all that's going on with the Call of Duty situation. I'm not gonna lie. 1 minute Anubis says it's about perks. Another minute, you know, we're talking about it only being on Xbox after a certain amount of time. I'll tell you this. The only Sony fans that are concerned with it are the Call of Duty fans, and I'm sure they'll just move over to Battlefield, you know, or they'll buy an Xbox. Whatever difference it makes, I don't care. You know, if you want to buy an Xbox, go ahead. I think it'd be silly just to buy for Call of Duty, but it is what it is. So that's one. Two. I don't care. I don't know anybody who cares about those fucking perks. Like, I've said this on the podcast that we've had together. I don't know anybody who cares about those fucking perks where, you know, you get like a different fucking skin on a gun and there's like a map you get like 2 months ahead of time or some bullshit. Destiny had shit like that. Destiny had an extra gun that was like inconsequential on Destiny 1 for PS3 and PS4. They had by Bungie, by the way. They had an extra gun that was like inconsequential. It was like not even the best. I think it was a pistol. It was like a pistol, something with an eagle in the name of it. It wasn't good. But I've never heard anybody complain about shit like that. The only people that complain about shit like that are people that are like terminally online, like my good friend Anoobis is starting to be. Let's see what this is. I see both sides, but it'll never not be extremely funny that a company that built its entire empire on the back of exclusive content, namely locking down the best output from Japan for the better part of 3 decades, is suddenly very concerned about the impact of exclusive content. I don't think it's extremely funny because I don't feel that much about it at all, to be honest. Like, the only reason I'm doing this is to show you how toxic Anoobis can be. But it's literally Microsoft's fault. I don't understand how Microsoft fans, and I'm not saying that this skill up person necessarily is, but I don't understand how Microsoft fans like literally like erase their minds when it comes to the past like 2 gaming generations where Microsoft didn't make a move to do anything in terms of exclusives. The one time they had an exclusive, Scalebound, they canceled it. So I just don't understand that. Like, it just seems lame that, let's laugh at Sony because they've been like doing what a game company is supposed to do to keep the market up and keep competition going. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, of course they bought like three of the biggest and most highest selling companies in the industry. So of course that's gonna make a lopsided market. But the thing is, Microsoft had the opportunity to buy all these different IPs, to buy exclusive titles and do it the way Sony has been doing it for like a while. But they decided to buy whole ass companies. Sony could have bought Activision. Sony could have bought all sorts of shit. They could have got Spyro and Crash back, but they didn't. They were just buying studio bit by bit. Like, Insomniac was the biggest buy that they have had in a long time. Insomniac was, I don't even remember the last big buy. They've just been really getting indie game studios, which, I'm not going to say make inconsequential games, but like, they're not making AAA games that everybody knows about and millions and millions and millions of people buy. They've just been doing that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but to say that Sony has made their name off of like these big exclusive titles, like Sony has had Naughty Dog since the 90s. Sucker Punch, I believe Sony's had since the mid 2000s, or was it late 2000s? And those are the biggest titles, right? Those are the biggest publishers that they have. But they only make a game every certain couple of years, and the other titles that they receive that are like exclusive, there's no reason, like to this day, there's no reason why Xbox shouldn't have Neo and Neo 2, right? What's the reasoning behind that? Steam has it. I don't know why. Like, well, you know what? I think PlayStation actually had a hand in like assisting and like funded a lot of Neo 1. I think that's why. So Sony does help here and there. They do assist with the funding. It's not just like, we're buying this exclusivity. They do assist with the funding. They're backing some people. Lost Soul aside, has anybody heard of that game? Let's take a look at it. Field trip real quick. We don't need to watch this whole trailer. I'm just going to skip through a little bit. This trailer is 6 years old. And this isn't even like the first bit of gameplay, I don't believe, for Lost Soul aside. Lost Soul aside was heavily inspired by Final Fantasy 15, and the creator, I believe, is Chinese. He worked on all of this that you see right now on his own. I hope I'm not like misgendering or anything. I'm pretty sure it's a fella, but This person like worked on all this you see like on their own, and honestly, it looks great. This is like an independent situation, right? Very independent, on his own. That's all he did. But let's take another field trip and go to his most recent work, which came out like a year ago, and see what happened after Sony saw this gameplay and said, "Hey, we should give them some backing." All right. So as you can see, it's been cleaned up, and well, you guys can't hear it over me. As you can see, it's been cleaned up, and there's some pretty epic stuff going on. Like there was a person that he was fighting in the last video, and now he's fighting this person again in an open area. And let me see here. Did he fight like somebody smaller so we could just see him fighting? Yeah. Hold on. Does he just fight bosses? This guy just fights bosses, huh? I'm trying to get to a good part. Well, it's all good, but yeah. Plenty of action. Pretty cool character action game. Microsoft is not interested in this, And this has been a long video. And, that's fine. Microsoft wasn't interested in it. But how is that Sony's fault? Why is that ironic? Because they find stuff and they go get it, Microsoft, they perfectly had the opportunity. They have more money than Sony. If they wanted to, they could be like, yo, we want everything exclusive. And it'd probably work. It costs a lot of money. And I would be able to get this. Well, no, I would be able to get it because of PC. But yeah, I don't understand, like, why is everybody so, like, what is up with this backwash? You know what I mean? Yeah, like, of course, they didn't buy whole companies. They just paid for exclusivity and timed exclusivity. The earliest bit of timed exclusivity I ever remember with Xbox was BioShock 1. And the second time I ever noticed it was Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider. Yeah. Because it was on Xbox for like a year. And like, it didn't sell as much, I guess. I doubt they would make Call of Duty an exclusive. They just don't want to comment about a contract that's 2 years from being discussed. What is this? Let's see. I doubt. I love how he's like, saying... I love how he's saying this to like one of the gaming analysts in the industry, by the way. And a quote retweet. Jim Ryan told game industry, Microsoft apparently offered to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation for 3 more years beyond the current agreement. Right. So what that says is what I've been thinking. Right. So it's going to go exclusive like eventually, which could be millions of sales taken away from PlayStation. But honestly, I don't really care about that much. Like, you guys know me. I'm into fighting games. I'm into RPGs. I'm into action RPGs. I don't really care that much about it. I'm just glad I'm not the only one who thought about Mega Man when I saw the new Pokemon. Congrats. Let's see. I keep forgetting about the cooking effects weren't working. This nigga is like simping for Xenoblade. What is this? Oh, that's Raid Shadow Legends. Elon Musk has a common advice. I don't care about that. This is actually important for them because that's the mode that PS5 is in the majority of times. What? Xbox S wastes 10 times more money in standby mode than PS5 as energy costs rise. We talk about standby mode now. Yo, that's funny. That is funny. Is that the dude's Twitter? That's not his Twitter. Let's see. What does that even mean? Only way to charge the battery. L. What the fuck are you talking about? It's the only way to charge the battery. What the fuck is he talking about? The Series S was made for casual gamers and third-party indie titles mostly anyways. Games whose memory don't exceed more than 8 gigabytes. Hold on. The Series S has 364 gigs of usable hard drive space. All right, so I don't like the caping for Series S. There was a point where I was like, you know what, Series S is it's for this type of gamer. But you know what, I'm gonna be honest. I don't give a fuck about somebody who just doesn't like really play games. Like I do like as a person, but I don't give a fuck about that. Like I don't understand that marketing angle. Like who wants the fucking Series S? And I've said this before. The only people getting a Series S are fucking parents that don't know anything about gaming consoles because they don't play, and they see Series and they think X and S are the fucking same thing, right? Yeah, I guess it's cool for a casual gamer, but it's not even like a really next gen like console. Like just get an Xbox One S if that's the case. It seems ridiculous. Like, oh, it's a 2K machine. It doesn't run a lot of stuff at 2K60. Like, if you're getting a next gen console, just get a next gen console. Otherwise, just get a fucking PS4 Pro. That way you have everything. You don't have backwards compatibility, but if you're a casual gamer and never fucking own games, then I think that would be the place to start. Get a PS4 Pro. And then you have like a lot of games, or like a Nintendo Switch, but designed for L. Look at the shit he reads, by the way. Obviously, this guy doesn't really like Xbox. Designed for L, Series L. Look at how fucking like, bro. What are you even reading this for? Like, it's the most boring shit ever, really. Like, who cares about all this? Like, if you feel a different way about S, just ignore it. I happen to think, what is the comment on this? I did that. Every system is made for casual gamers, because it is. I don't like. Hold on, what does he say? It's funny. He's on video right now. This is live. OP is talking about the rest mode. I don't like having to leave my console on to charge the battery. Not a big deal, but I don't like it. To charge what battery? I mean, I know what he's saying. He's talking about the controller. I'm just trying to make sure he knows what he's talking about, because this seems stupid. Right? I mean, you guys see what I'm saying, right? Like, he doesn't know that you could charge. It's the way it's coming off is he doesn't know that you can charge the controller by plugging it into the fucking console or plugging it into another USB Type C like situation. So weird. Let's see. No, $70 remake. Last of Us Part 1. Yay, $60 port. What was that talking about? That Skyward Sword? What was that for? The Wii U? That was for the Wii U, right? Because Skyward... No, that was... Which one was the one where he turns into a werewolf? I don't know. I don't play Legend of Zelda. I wasn't nearly into Nintendo as I am now, but I specifically remember people absolutely shat on this. On Skyward Sword HD? I have never heard Nintendo fans shit on Legend of Zelda at all. Now, there's different types of Nintendo fans, or Zelda fans. There's Zelda fans that think that Ocarina of Time is the best. There's Zelda fans that think that Majora's Mask is the best. And the only reason I know this is because I'm not a Zelda fan, and I fucking know too many of them, right? Like, there's so many Zelda fans, and like they're how do I describe them? The people that wear Legend of Zelda shirts from Walmart, those motherfuckers don't really play games like that. They're really weird. They're odd. They played Legend of Zelda once, and they're like, you know what? This is my game. This is it. What else is my guy talking about? When is a good time? What is this? Let's see. Let's help her out. Blah, 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 blah. I don't like that. Okay. You know what? I'm sorry. I was like seeing if Corey liked it, because I'm like, does Corey even play Genshin Impact? Okay. What is this? This Salt King guy that evidently, does he follow him? Anoobis doesn't follow him. He doesn't follow this guy, but it still appears on his feed because he doesn't know how to mute people that he, like, I don't know, follows or something that follow this guy. or he just doesn't know how to like say I'm not interested in this tweet or I'm not interested in PlayStation or something. But so here's the thing: no significant upgrade. That's true, but they all sold a bunch. 9 years, vastly significant upgrade. Last of Us Part 1. So Last of Us, the PS4 remaster, I think there are texture updates. The game had a lock at 60 FPS mode, and overall it was better looking and better functioning than The Last of Us. Now, The Last of Us Part 1 is better because not only are there texture updates, but the models have been changed, the AI has been changed. Unfortunately, there is no significant like gameplay change. Like you can't go through narrow areas or go prone or anything. I don't like that. In a remake, I think that you should learn from like the positive things that have happened in the series. You know, like you should learn from the things that brought you up to the point. You know, which is why I don't care for Demon Souls remake. But Demon Souls remake is still a good game to play. You know. Also, instead of putting Skyrim, he should have put like Resident Evil 1 or something. Not saying that Resident Evil 1 was no significant upgrade, but I find Resident Evil 1 and possibly Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes might be more comparable to this. Let's see what my guy says. He's been on a tear with this. You don't need to have the PS5 on standby to charge. Fucking jackass. It's a fantastic game for sure, but paying $70 for a remaster is crazy. It's even missing a game mode. Oh, we had a long discussion on this. I had to like mute it. So here's my thing about this, and this is something that I had to get off my chest. It's not a remaster; it's a remake. The game was remade from the ground up. You know, let's not discredit the fact that they went in and they remade the game, and it doesn't looking at it and looking at the original PS3 or even the PS4 title. It's like you're looking at a completely different game. Like it's a remake. A remaster is like an upscaling of the original shit. Like Zone of the Enders, Mars is a remaster of the 2005 class. Does it come out? Did it come out in 2005? The 2005 classic. Okay, so there's that. But this is completely different. $70, I agree with that. I'm not paying $70 for The Last of Us Part 1 remake. I'll pay $20 for it, or maybe if it becomes free. I'm not paying $70 for The Last of Us Part 1. I just got done playing Part 2, and Part 2 has more game features. Now, Part 1, I happen to believe, has, like, better combat, kind of. Like, that's just me. Like, the combat's better because there's not all these things bloating it up. Like, Last of Us Part 2, you have dodges. You can't dodge bullets, of course. The enemy AI is, like, really fucking strong. You know, they'll shoot your ass and they'll shoot you and you'll wobble over. But in Last of Us Part 1, it's like you get shot, you shoot back, and it worked. You know, the stealth is better in Part 2. It's more interesting, but Part 1 has its own magic, you know, because it's Joel. But I'm not paying $70 for it either. Like, don't get me wrong. You don't have to. What does he have to say? Is there a difference between the standby and rest modes? I know there is for Xbox. I have my PS5 on rest mode now because it literally not charged my controller otherwise. You are an idiot. I want to say that you are. How do I approach this, bro? Plug the fucking thing in. I'm charging mine on my PS5 while it's on, and also it works. It charges with USB. Jesus Christ. Either that, or maybe it's because he has that fucking because he has the digital version. Tweet has been deleted, but this has been a terrible take. This was a terrible take. What? Hold on a second. I gotta look at that. I only talk about the game during an event. We are working 6, 7 days a week. Nobody's forcing us. Exhaustion, tired, COVID, but we're working. Bugs, glitches, perfects, fixes. One last pass through audio. 12, 15 hour days. This is gaming, hard work, lunch, dinner, working. You do it because you love it. I'll say this. You do you, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe he's a fucking Republican. I don't know. But I wouldn't want to do all that shit. So I'll say that. That is a bad take. What's this? Why are you so upset? Because you don't. Because you don't know anything. Because you don't know anything. That's why I'm so fucking upset. Like, his nigga's literally saying L, like, I can't charge my controller unless it's on standby. Like, nigga, it's supposed to fucking charge regardless. Like, this is the type of shit I be dealing with, like, with him being my podcast mate. Like, I have to, like, look at this dude, like, not understand how to fucking plug in his controller and charge it, or not understand that it's being charged, you know? Because I haven't heard anything about that. I'm sure people would have been all over that if it was, like, you know, a big thing. But, you know, he's like, oh, I can't charge it unless it's on standby. Like, bro, all you have to do is just plug it into the fucking wall. Like, you got a USB Type-C phone that charges with the shit. How do you not know? Like, you have plenty of options to charge it. This isn't hard. I don't understand that. Huh. What is this? What were the tweets that were reported to HR? I hate these too long didn't reads. Like, what exactly? Because you called yourself a test engineer. They call you a test engineer or something. I don't know. I don't want to hear the company culture and spending time reporting Twitter on my LinkedIn. I don't know anything about that, but I'm damn near tired of this. What is this? Mass Effect 4 can't be off another chicken sandwich. Gears 6 can't be another Game of Thrones Season 8. What? Fable can't be another Alien Covenant. The Callisto Protocol can't be another warm pint of cider. Starfield can't be another Kotaku. What? Redfall can't be another Saints Row reboot. This dude, like, so I understand what they're saying. It's a Game Rant article. I don't think I've like seen like a lot of their shit, but this is what Game Rant is trying to say. I don't know why people can't like interpret, like their interpreting skills are like bad. So basically, it's saying that Redfall can't do the bullshit that Saints Row did before its launch. Like, I guess Saints Row might have been like a bad game, or the reboot might have had like some bad things going on with it, especially with this like, you know, they both seem to be like sandbox like games, right? Or was Redfall first person? I don't know. There has to be something within the article that shows that, but all we have is this guy saying that Mass Effect 4 can't be off chicken sandwich, which is fucking stupid. How are these game studios even relatable? Again, fucking stupid. Like, they're comparing like how the launch was. Like, maybe like they're not really relatable per se, but they don't want them to go through whatever is in this article. I don't know. I can't see what's in the fucking article. They didn't post a link to the article. So there has to be something in there that they related to Arcane Studios. But, I don't think this is worth really making fun of. It's just fucking stupid. What is this? Oh, it's fucking nothing. Inconsequential. Me secretly supporting crunch in the game development because it tends to make games better. Just say what you don't know what crunch is, big dog. He thinks he's like the smartest person there is when he says just say you don't know what X, Y, or Z is. Oh yeah, this was dumb. This was dumb right here. $70 remake. Where the fuck was his gun? This tweet was deleted, but basically, I guess there was like a accessibility option where you could be invisible or make your guns invisible or something. So, yeah, the lack of response is from an accessibility setting straight up. One of them is called invisibility. Yeah, so there's a reason for whatever happens here, I guess, but this dumbass didn't know anything about it, even though I think that's an accessibility feature in The Last of Us Part 2 that he loves so much. But, he's like $70 remake. Like, shut up, nigga. You bought Nier like 2 or 3 times, and the only difference was one was an Ultimate Edition with DLC already in it, and the other one didn't have DLC yet. By the way, he didn't know that Nier had DLC on PS4. I know you can charge the battery with a powered off PS4. What? Okay. Alright, I'm done here. I just want to take a look at his tweets. Let me know what you think. Take a look at the Immersive Arcade podcast channel where me and him like argue over silly shit and do gameplay playthroughs. I'll catch you guys later.